Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Jamie, and this channel is a vlog on how I train for marathons, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, how I handle dealing with the training that goes into running a marathon. And so with that ado, let's just talk about some of the ways that I have been staying positive through the situation that we're in right now and with all of our events being canceled. If you are watching this, someone who has signed up for an event, a running event that has been canceled. And the really tough thing about this is that the reason why we sign up for these races, whether it's a 5K, a 10K, a half marathon, a full marathon, or an ultra, is because we are setting a goal to be able to challenge ourselves. Running is really hard for a lot of people. And it's hard for people who are good at it. It's hard for people who have never done it. It is just, it's a hard sport. And so to push yourself to even to sign up for that event and then to have it canceled is such a bummer. All right, you guys, so let's go for a run. I'm gonna vlog it. And at the end of this video, I'm gonna share with you guys a few things that have really kept me on track and kept me motivated throughout this whole quarantine and my running. Okay, so every morning my coffee is a regular drip coffee. I usually use a little bit of almond milk or oat milk, sometimes whole milk, honestly anything. I just don't use any sugar. And also the coffee that I use is the blonde roast from Starbucks. And I always get the whole bean coffee because I like to grind my beans fresh. All right, so just got back from a 6-mile run. As you can see, my face is really red and it wasn't the funnest run for me, but that's kind of the process in getting back into running shape. I did not feel fantastic when I was running. It was definitely like hotter than what I thought it was gonna be, but I wanted to do 8 miles. I ended up doing 6. So I'll take it, especially because I have been through this quarantine situation kind of like falling off the wagon in terms of doing adequate training or like even a lot of running. So this is going to be day 1 of getting back into running shape. And it's always interesting, like when you don't run a lot for a few weeks and then you finally start running again, and you gotta really like push through the moments that are tough. You know, I was at like mile 3 and I really wanted to just stop, but that's what it's all about, you know, like if my goal had been 3 miles and I had felt bad at 1.5 miles, like that would have been my moment to push during my run. So yeah, overall, I feel good about it. So yeah, you know, I live in a place where it's very like, you never know what kind of weather you're gonna get out there, but it was pretty hot, 60 degrees. All right, I'm gonna have some water and I'm gonna stretch and I'm gonna take a shower and then I'll have done my run for the day, and it feels good to be done. All right, all showered. I'm gonna have a snack, just a smoothie. And this is just a snack. This isn't gonna be my lunch, but it's gonna hold me over until I'm ready to eat lunch, so, yep. So this is just my green smoothie snack. Oh. Later I'll probably have lunch, but for now this is like a good snack to hold me over while I relax. Yeah, and you can see my face is already not as red as it was. Thank you guys for watching my video. I hope that it has inspired you to maybe go for a run or maybe inspired you to start thinking about going for a run? That's where it all starts, is where your thought process is and what you're thinking about. So yeah. Okay, bye. All right, tip number one. Visualize. So we know that there are going to be more races in 2021. We know that we have races that are going to be rescheduled. And when you are outside running, just visualize yourself in that race that you have signed up for. And it will really motivate you to continue your training. So when I'm out for a run and I have nothing to train for, I think about how next year I will be signed up for certain races and I will be in them and I will be running them. And so that really helps me. So if you continue to visualize yourself in that race, like feeling really good and doing really good, then that really is going to push you to complete your run with more strength than maybe you would have had mentally thinking about not having anything to train for. My second tip is, when you wake up in the morning, remember what you are grateful for. Make a list of things in your mind or write it down, things that you are grateful for, because I can't stress this to you guys enough. Like, gratefulness is the motivator that keeps you going. You could have $10 million in your bank account right now, but if you were not grateful for it, you wouldn't care about that $10 million at all. You would still be unhappy. You can wake up with $5 in your bank account, and if you have a nice warm cup of coffee and you're grateful for that cup of coffee, that is the best feeling, because you don't have $10 million in your bank account, but if you appreciate what you do have, even though it is little, that is a huge motivator, and it has been for me. And it also keeps me positive. Being mindful of how grateful I am of the little things in life has been a big factor in how I have been able to stay positive through this. Tip number 3. So, something that I have noticed in my local running community is that there are a lot of virtual races that you are able to sign up for. That is a great motivator to continuing your training efforts. So if you are someone who has somewhat of a running community, even if it is online, reach out to these people and find virtual races. In a virtual race, you can sign up for the race and you can run it, and then you upload your run online and you compare it to other people's runs, and you've all essentially run the race together. Obviously not as good as a real thing, but it gives you something to train for. If you're someone who really needs something to train for, that's a great way to continue to push yourself and continue to train. Because in 10 weeks, if you have a virtual 10K that you have to run, you're gonna train for that 10K and you're gonna upload it and you're gonna have something to continue to work for. Last thing that you can do to keep yourself motivated to get out and go for a run is to know the weather for the next day, have your running clothes ready according to the weather, and have your sneakers untied near your running clothes. If you know what you're getting yourself into tomorrow, when you're planning on going on that run, having everything ready to go and being mentally prepared for that is gonna make a world of difference.